Morning, everyone. I'm Kevin Lee, the CEO of Mobilized Construction. I'll be spending this morning talking to you about smart infrastructure and how we digitize road infrastructure management to improve road safety and transportation in communities around the world. So roads are vital to thriving societies. Crumbling roads block access to healthcare, jobs, education, water, and much more. That's a photo of what road conditions are like in many developing communities that we work with in Kenya and Uganda. And on the right is local labor that we coordinated with our technology platform for manual labor road repairs. And ultimately, our goal is to connect rural communities to the surrounding area and to urban centers. So what we did with our technology platform is we measure road quality using our smartphone and sensors, and then we create micro contracts for local individuals to repair roads. Then car vehicles go on roads to measure and evaluate road quality, and if it's deemed to meet standards, local individuals are paid wages through M-Pesa, or Venmo in the equivalent in the States. To date, we've been able to improve accessibility for 15,000 individuals in Kenya and Uganda. And as an impact, we were able to reduce the transportation time and taxi fares by 50%. So this means moms going to hospitals can now get there faster, safer, cheaper. Those farmers who are trying to get to the local market can get there with less costs and sell their goods for higher incomes. We've needed to make the transition to the UK market in order to expedite our revenue. We were speaking to impact investors and they saw a long lead time to get to revenue. And fortunately, we were well received by the British government and the Welsh government, as well as received funding from the Development Bank of Wales to adapt part of our technology platform here to the UK. So I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking about that. So road repair processes have largely stayed the same over the last 50 years, and they need to be brought into the 21st century. This is what it's like here in the UK and much of in the States for road repairs. What happens is local individuals complain, and then road crews are sent out in a reactive manner. As a result, billions of pounds are wasted every single year on pointless repairs, and that inefficiency leads to little impact to the citizens and the community. And as a result, cycling deaths and injuries have soared. Over the last decade, fatalities and accidents have increased by 3 times. So the situation today is the transportation planners do not have the technology and the data that they need to make better decisions. They have highly technical equipment, as you see here on the left, that provides information once annually, or they have citizens who report potholes, much like how in the States you call your city government or you put it on 311. And at the end of the day, they lack the real world road conditions, and it's inaccurate, which means they have limited effectiveness of decisions. Our solution is an Internet of Things automated data collection. We collect seismic data, and by equipping sensors onto the dashboard of vehicles, we call it Tailau 1, which means pothole here in Welsh, and we can provide empirical data to reflect real-world road conditions so decision makers can plan and maximize impact and reduce costs on the road repairs. We have maps that visualize where the road conditions are, red, green, yellow for how good or bad they are, as well as individual points for potholes. A quick technical overview for those in the room who are technical. We have our sensor, which data stores onto an SD card and is uploaded to the cloud and processed, and then we display it onto our website. Over the next few years, we're going to be adapting and integrating so we go straight to the cloud with the data, and then over time we want to integrate in APIs for the auto car manufacturers who are likely collecting this data already, as well as going to clusters, because this is going to be a lot of data that needs to be processed and visualized very quickly. So going back to our customers, what are the key benefits that we're offering for them? First is we're organizing the data and we're offering them better scheduling. So they have individual pothole locations, where they're detected, when they're detected, as well as coordinating and putting data together. So one is we have road data, as well as integrating in population density, traffic count, schools and hospitals, so that the roads that have the highest impact to the community get fixed and repaired first. So the key impact in all of this is we can transition repairs for local municipalities are able to transition repairs from reactive, where local citizens call in reports and they send out crews immediately to fix it, to more proactive, where they send out one crew and they know where in the surrounding community or the surrounding neighborhood they have another 5 to 10 potholes, and that they can reduce the cost by about 30%. And that helps reduce the traffic delays and disruptions by about an hour or two, which will, down the road, reduce the loss in revenue for businesses. If we were to aggregate impact across the UK, the overall sphere that we're looking at is 25,000 in annual serious accidents and fatalities that cause about £50 billion in health, economic, and productivity losses. And as a practical, tangible impact to individuals, it's about £350 in damage to every vehicle annually. I had dinner last week with a friend, and he was telling me how he ran over a pothole and it popped one tire and damaged two others. He actually had to replace all three, and it cost him about £200. And that's a story I hear many, many times. Our marketing strategy is twofold today. Right now, we talk to transportation planners, highway engineers directly and at industry events, as well as work with and submit proposals to Innovate UK, which is the R&D competition organizer here in the UK, and they actually have opened a government technology fund to sponsor new technology for alternative road sensing, road surface quality sensing technologies. And over time, there's heavy standardization that we can get to. First is working on government procurements and frameworks. So these are standards and contracts that the government is able to, that they put out every single year, as well as working with channel partners and resellers. So iPoint is a company that we were we met here in Wales, and they sell buses and coaches to local municipalities, and they're very interested in bundling our technology as a package service to local communities and local governments as they work to install new fleets. Our key advantage to existing and new alternative road surface quality diagnostic tools is first, compared to the top left and the middle section, which is user-submitted reports, as well as smartphone-based apps, is we automate that data collection. So there's no longer any need for individuals to report and spend time after they get off of the road to submit where the potholes are. And on the bottom, we have highly technical, high file size service providers that take a long time to process and translate that data. So we offer a really sweet spot where we offer good technical data at a automated as well as a real-time view for transportation planners. The market size that we're looking at is 100 million in the UK for road management and planning. Over time, the next market we're looking at will be the US market, which spends about £500 million for the same technology. And the larger market that we're playing into is really global telematics and transportation, which is a really large market at 120 billion pounds annually. To date, we've gone ahead and already mapped the roads in Cardiff, where we're based and headquartered now, as well as we've had really good conversations with the Welsh Government, Cardiff Council, Monmouthshire, local government, as well as trade associations. Our revenue model is twofold. First is it's a trial basis or a one-time basis where we provide road quality diagnostics at £2,000 per project. This provides a one-time data map as well as report and analysis. Think about this as a snapshot, and we want to move customers who try into more annualized subscription software, which is £15,000 per local authority, local government, and this offers them real-time cloud data, access, and support. And there's many additional future services and other customizations that we can get to that offer additional revenue down the road. For revenue projections, we're estimating starting off slow over the course of this next 6 months, and then we're going to scale to something that's quite profitable and large, about £11 million in revenue in year 5. And the way we're looking at this is we're focusing on the UK market in 2019, looking at the American market in 2020-21, and then going for global expansion in 2022, as well as moving to a data processing part where we look at APIs, look at the data coming off of connected vehicles. And another key highlight here is the high margins that we can get to at 52% in year 5. To date, we've been recognized by the Prime Minister of the UAE at the World Government Summit for our work in Kenya. We've also received a £50,000 investment from the Development Bank of Wales, as well as grants from many organizations globally. Our current ask is £300,000 for a seed investment. It'll be used for manufacturing development and sales here in the UK. And in terms of impact, 10 local communities is equivalent to about 2 million residents that have higher road safety and less potholes that they deal with on a daily basis. And over time, this will expand to the US market with a Series A and then a Series B as we go global, as well as when we transition to a data marketplace. And for exit opportunities, there's 3 main categories here. There's telematics and data, there's transportation and construction companies, as well as the automotive and car companies. And what we're looking at and what we're trying to represent here is once we sell and move away from the UK market and the developed world market, that's when we pick up and go back to the Kenya case, because I think at that point, the social enterprise as well as the impact investing space will be more ready for a re-entry into that space. In terms of our team, we have a highly experienced team that has delivered tangible solutions. I myself used to work at IBM in software design and sales. Jens worked at CERN, and he was the Particle Accelerator Lab. Greg is our data scientist and has worked in statistics and analysis. Devinder Pal has built software companies, and Ed has built hardware engineer for large aerospace companies. And we have a great team of advisors and mentors from Dick and Naresh, who have been with us here at GSBI, as well as Johan, who is our former co-founder. So in summary, we're looking for 300,000 seed closing in Q1 of 2019, so about 6 months from now. We are a highly scalable solution that has tremendous broad social environmental impact around the world, both in developed markets as well as developing markets, and there's significant downstream revenue opportunities. So thanks again for taking time to listen to us, and love to hear your feedback.